Hello and welcome to our daily sketching routine. It is Saturday, December 7th, 2024, and today's topic will be sketching fire. And I'm going to do it on this page that I did a couple of videos on. This one was Creative Flow and Creative Blocks, and it ended up drawing this wood texture because I was drawing my desk. And then I made a video about sketching water. I didn't do any for these frogs, but we're gonna do fire today. So yeah, I'll link those. And yeah, I thought it would be good to kind of stick with the elements since that's what happened. So yeah, I'm gonna draw from, to begin with, to warm up. Well, to begin with, welcome back if you're returning, welcome if you're new. I sketch and post every day, and I use timers. Usually 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes, but I'm going to start a 5-minute timer right now. And if you just want to use that to build a sketching habit, feel free to do that. And yeah, I'm going to start with just looking up pictures of fire. And I'm going to use just different size pens. I talk about them in a lot of different videos, but I'll just use, this is going to be kind of my main. I'm not going to repeat them all the time, but I'll kind of mention it as I use it. So this is like a medium point felt tip. So just to begin with, I'm going to use this because I'm the most used to it at this point. But yeah, I like to set a 5-minute timer, and sometimes, so I don't draw fire all the time, so just to get loosened up, I'm going to look at a picture and just kind of warm up, basically. And I thought it was not only fitting to kind of stick with the elements, but since one of the videos was talking about creative flow, I feel like things like creativity and the flow state and everything kind of lends itself to the metaphor of the elements. So creative flow, or the flow state, could be water, or it could be, sometimes it could feel like fire. And with these daily sketching habits, part of why I do them, or why I think they're important, is that you're kind of just tending to the fire. And so maybe inspiration is kind of like fire, or that creative spark or creative energy, as they say. I'm just gonna do this for like 5 minutes, and maybe that's what we'll do today. Just kind of draw different scenes for 5 minutes. What was I saying? But yeah, the idea with habits is kind of, my approach is basically just tend to the fire, and I just do it every day. And it doesn't take all day. I mean, and that's the thing. I think that you're not really going to sit all day and be inspired or do something that creative all day long, because it does kind of, it wears you out. It kind of burns. So that's kind of why I'm looking at reference, for example. Now, after I do this kind of a good warm up, then you can kind of deconstruct like what this is, because this was from reference, but then you can take this and start to develop your own vocabulary and just do like an iteration, another iteration of it. In other words, what AI image generation is doing, except I feel like this will teach you to draw rather than have it do it for you. So yeah, you can just have different iterations, different versions of it. And I just think there's a lot of charm to sketches. And I think fire is pretty interesting. So that's about 5 minutes. It's about to, the timer's about to go off. And I'll find a different one. But yeah, I'm going to, well, like I said, kind of stick with reference and then kind of do different versions of it. So the other thing that could happen is, so I use this pen. The next thing could be to use something thinner. So I'll start another 5-minute timer. And yeah, I'll just use a different pen. And you can also not only use a different pen, but then use like a different approach. So this one could be more fluid, could be more loose. So I'm just going to hold it pretty loosely like this. So this is a different look, a different approach. But yeah, I'll kind of tie this into the idea of creative flow, and just kind of tending to the fire of inspiration, because that's part of the AOS triad, the Art of Sedone triad. And just kind of let it do its thing. As far as inspiration or imagination, because that's one of the parts of the triad. So this could be, you can approach these videos as a way to help you keep a sketching habit, give you ideas. They kind of act as prompts. Also gives you ideas about different tools you can use. So yeah, you can hold the pen, especially in a sketchbook. I mean, I feel like you don't have to worry too much about style, because that's the other part of the triad, is style. It's imagination, style, and study. So I'm studying because I'm looking at photos. But now that I got this from a photo, I can just kind of take the idea from this, which is basically a more loose kind of style. I mean, it's sort of smoke also, but then again, what is it? If there's smoke, there's fire. It's not in the camera. And then you can combine like a different pen. So this is a little bit thicker pen, and just fill in some of the shapes. That kind of makes it look like fire. Just some ideas so we can kind of make a scene. So with this one, I'm going to use the brush pen, and I'll just keep it in this area here. I guess the next one would be air. We could do clouds. But I don't know if we'll do it today. We'll see how much time there is. Fire and air. So yeah, this 5 minutes is almost over. I'll just get the next one started. So in this approach, I'm going to use a brush. And since I'd been working on profiles this week, I think, I'm going to just do a profile. And since it's a fire, it'll be a silhouette. So that's 5 minutes. I'll start another one. Yeah, I'll probably just stick with fire. And then maybe tomorrow we'll do air unless something else comes up. So when using this, it is a different approach. You kind of want to be kind of loose. You're not going to be that detailed with the brush. And just see what happens. And then just use the negative space. Now you can actually, if you want to get more of a like hazy look to it, I'll let that dry for a second. Well, as that's drying, I have another idea to do like a phoenix. So to do this phoenix, I'm just gonna basically draw the phoenix, because the phoenix itself is a fire bird. So just kind of get like the look. Make it look more like fire. So I'll let that dry, and then yeah, to get more of a hazy effect, you can go in with the white marker. And this is just like a paint marker. And then kind of use it to adjust things that if you see, if you want, but mainly it's to get this white paint on here, and then if you ink over it, it'll be gray. And then over here you can basically turn this into made of flames kind of. I'm just going to take what I learned from these other ideas from this other thing, but like go in the reverse. So figure out where the light part, because before we were doing the going in and figure out where the shadows are. So I'm just going to figure out where the light areas are. That's 5 minutes. I'll start another one and kind of wrap up this video. Let's just stick with fire for today. And then just kind of unify this picture, because I love montages. But yeah, like I was saying, it's a good way to explore ideas without needing to finish an illustration. So in this part, if you want to get more of a like smoky look, because what'll happen is that this, because of that paint, it'll fade. This ink will fade. So you can just get it started and then let it dry. And that's the other thing with sketches. Sort of my approach is to, one, build the habit, and then also explore different ideas, different tools, different subjects and compositions, and then leave it and then come back to it. And sometimes, well, always pretty much, you're going to get some ideas, and then it'll look different, because I felt different about these sketches now than I did when I originally sketched them, because it's just kind of a different mindset whenever you come back to it. And then you can sometimes get good ideas for different scenes or characters. And so yeah, like this will start to fade as it dries, and it'll look more smoky looking. And then for this phoenix, I'll just take like this idea and just create like the fire that it's coming out of. So I'll just kind of draw like the shape, and then since we were doing this brush technique, just go in, and I'm not going to darken the background like this. You can just focus on the fire part of it. And if you don't want it to fade, then you can use the black brush color. And then for the background, if you want to fade it, again, to get kind of a hazy look, just use a smaller pen. So yeah, as we wrap up this video, hopefully it gave you some ideas to play around with. I haven't actually sketched any of these things. I don't sketch that much fire, and then I don't think I've ever sketched a phoenix. But they're pretty cool. But then what you could do is either sketch it in a different way, use it as inspiration, or scan it in and paint it up, but it'll be from your own ideas. And it was fun to sketch. So I'll zoom in, let you see the details, and then start to wrap up this video. I want to thank you for joining me today for our daily sketching routine. And if you like these videos, please support the channel by liking, subscribing, commenting. I sketch and post every day, and I appreciate the support. And until next time, keep on sketching.